Okay, Sat Nam. So I'm doing a short recording for those of you just joining, so you don't have to watch hours and can catch up if you're going to continue with us in the Puri study. We're meeting every 2 weeks, and I'm referencing the Gurmukhi in that I'm talking about some of the accents. There's under 10 accents, but it can really help inform you when you're using the transliteration. Most people that are taking the course, they're not learning Gurmukhi. I know teachers, if you'd like to know, I can give you some names. That study is great, and it's really ongoing, never ending. There's lots of complexity to it, but the transliteration I find is written differently. It's not consistent in different publications. It's written differently. And it's also not usually super correct. So I think just learning the accents can really help fill in for what the transliteration is not showing. This is from a manual that I love because it gives word by word translation. So you see the Gurmukhi on the first line, the word translation on the second, then the transliteration, and the last part is the fuller. This is a version of the translation of the line. And so in this video, I will refer more to the accents because we're just beginning. As we move along, it will become more familiar because it will be in every puri, and it will come together and really inform your pronunciation. So another thing is that when we're reading it slowly and we're really pulling out the precision of the sound, when you're reading more quickly, some of those pieces get dropped a little. So I'll talk about that too. And here we go with Japuji. And in the transliteration, if you just read that, it would say Jap G. So in the Gurmukhi, it's J, P. The little dash underneath will make an U sound. And there's two hooks. This hook facing left will make a long E. The transliteration does a good job with that. And so Japuji and Ikonkar, these characters are unique to this part. It's I've heard Sikhs debate whether it's IK or EK, ek or ik. Also, I learned this as an N sound, not the G, and maybe the G kind of is informed and absorbed, but I learned this as own car. And here we go with Satanama. So the hook facing right will make an I sound like an eh. Sate, not this little line, half line is an accent that makes a long A. They do a good job showing that down here with two A's. The little dash underneath will be the Satanama. Okay, if there's no accent, like between the K here and the R, it makes a little A sound, and that's the same at the end of a word. If there's no accent, it has a little A. So this will be Kardata, longer A, Kardata, which can often, when reading quickly, get kind of, or this word can be a bad habit for me where I just say Karta, or, so I always go back and like when I'm reading back through the Mul mantra and check my habits and slow it down and stretch it out. Kardata, Kardata, Karta, Kardata. It's really Kardata. And just check my habits too. That's a good word for me to kind of point out. And you'll hear it in recordings, just said as Karta, but it's Kardata. And the R's are rolled, which I cannot do. So that won't be part of what you'll hear coming out of my pronunciation, but that's correct too, is to roll the R's. Okay, so here we have the little dash that makes the portico. And the hook facing right will make the I, and the dash underneath will be the sound. This is an O, so it makes it a little different. It'll be near bow. The kind of gets more subtle with the O, near the bow. Near to, okay, here's a little accent with the two lines. That's an A sound, like as in hat, mat, sat. So near to verd. This has the dash, so makes the U. Near to verd. Akala. Okay, so the A at the end often, so that's a word that it often gets dropped. We hear a call, and technically it's a kala. Here's two lines, and they show it as two O's. It's an oo sound. Murita. The little hook makes the I sound. Murita. Here it is again. Ajuni. The hook left makes the E. Ah sound. And here's the half circle facing down makes an ung sound. I would put U and G. They put A and G, but sa bung. Little dash under the G makes an U. And this, I think it's a little misprinted. This accent makes an R here at the P. The half line will make the long A. The hook will make it, hook facing right, make the I. So Guru Prasad. The two little dashes lines here make the pause. It's a pause. So when we're reading, we'll read through, pause. Japa, pause. Ad. And this is when we often mispronounce too. We say like more of a U, such, but it's actually an A. So it's such, jugada, such, pause, ha, that A sound with the two lines there, ha, be, such, nanika. Here's a little wavy accent that makes an O sound. Hosi, be, such. Okay, and I'll read it more quickly now. Ikonkar, Satanama, Karatapurik, Nirbo, Nirver, Kalamurit, Ajuni, Sebang, Godaprasada, Japa, pause. Ada, Sacha, Jugada, Sacha, pause. Habi, Sacha, Nanika, Hosi, Be, Sacha. Okay, so that is Mul Mantra. I'll make another recording, I think, combining Pauris to make it a little shorter to catch up. I think our next class is the 7th Pauri in 2 weeks. So please contact me if you need any help with pronunciation, would like me to listen to your pronunciation. I'm happy to meet to do that. Most people are just getting recordings of the classes. So that's available to do if you don't want to be in person when we meet every 2 weeks also. Okay, Satnam.